Hey guys, welcome back. So I started making, remember those canes that we made the other day that I haven't used yet? I did make a cane out of them, and of course Bandit's got to start barking. Hold on a second. Oh, he's been barking all morning. But anyways, I made the cane, but something happened when I went to reduce it and put it together. So I kind of scrapped that because I didn't want you guys to see it because I didn't want to confuse you. But that was the original cane that we did. So we had some issues, and the design is a lot smaller than I wanted. This was a cane that I made with some older cane the other day. I like that better, but again, it's really small. So I replicated the colors that I used, but I didn't wrap any of these in black. I probably will, but I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. So I've been watching some Donna Kato videos, and I've noticed that in all of her canes, she's always got a center point. She's always got that one, like focal part to her cane. So I'm going to try and attempt and make a focal point in my cane, and then just start doing everything else around it. So I had a bunch of black and white cane that's been sitting in my little box here, so I'm pulling them out. It's a little hard, but I think I can wake them up no problem. So I'm not quite sure what I'm doing, so we're using the crimson, cad yellow and white. This is a jungle green made with 5 parts of olive and 4 parts of navy blue, latte and white. We have orange, sunshine and white, and that same green with turquoise and white. And we're using just black and white to offset everything. So I didn't cover it in black because it makes so much black. As you can see from this, there's just a lot of black. So I'm going to try and avoid that. And I'm probably going to be a little quiet because I'll be thinking as I do this because I don't know what to do yet. And of course, as always, I use the wrong side of the blade. Okay, so I don't know how this is going to look, but I'm not sure a spiral is going to be the best thing to use, so I may not use it. This is going to be for our centerpiece. Usually I chop down my cane so small when I put them together that it gets really busy in the end. Okay, so I could either do something like this. Wow, that's a big piece. Or I can do that for the center. Okay, so I've got this, this, and this. Or this, this, and this. I don't know, for some reason I'm kind of liking that. I'm going to go ahead and do that one because we're going to wrap it around a little bit of black. So let me grab some black here. And I might have to condition some. And I'm going to wrap them in a number 1 just because I'm going to make it into, well, kind of a circle. I don't know. I might just make it into a diamond shape. So we're making this as a white, or as the thickest setting. I'm a little off here. I need to find me a taller blade. This one's just way too small for my fingers. Okay, so we're going to do the same on those. And then we're just going to kind of encase them in black. So I'm going to need a lot of black. So let me go ahead and do this and I'll be right back. Okay, so now that I've got this wrapped, I'm realizing how big this piece is. So we are going to make these into 3 inches as well. So we'll have enough for another cane if we want to make another one. I really want to make another black and white one. Those are my favorite to do. I just hate putting resin on black and white because the resin really yellows on white and black. You can really see it, and it dulls it as soon as you put it on. So for those pieces, I'm going to have to either buff it really well or use a varnish. I just got a new varnish in too. I saw people talking about it on the Blue Bottle Tree, and so I gave it a shot. Unfortunately, the one I bought was matte, but it dried really nice. It was pretty cool. I just haven't used the gloss. I had to order it from the company that makes it because Amazon didn't have it. They only had the matte finish. So we'll have to try that and see how it works. Alright, so I'm just going to cut up 2. We may use that other 2 on the side somewhere. I don't know. I don't know if that will take away from the center. So for now, we're just going to reduce this to 3 inches. And there might be a lot of pauses on this video because these are huge canes, as you can see. So we're gonna have to bring those down a bit too. Okay. Oh, it can be a little bigger here. Okay, so we're going to do that. Okay, and we're just going to kind of wrap around it with some black. I think we're going to need all of this. So I'm debating if I want to put one more thin piece in between each one of these. I am, but I'm going to only do it on this one. So we're going to wrap this one more time. Okay. So now, probably could have put a couple layers of white and made this a little bigger, but that's okay. All right. Okay, so we're going to make it like that. Okay, so what we're going to have to do is put some clays right here, kind of like a triangle, just to close up those gaps. Where I got white on them. Just do that side like that. Okay, I'll do 2 more on this side. Kaleidoscope canes are probably the longest videos because there's just so much to them. This off a little bit. Okay. Do the same on this one. So that kind of closes it up. Okay, I'm going to add that. So we just got about, I don't know, we just need that about a quarter inch longer, and we're going to be perfect. Okay, so this will just go around that whole piece. Okay, so that's going to be our center. But as you know, the center on any kind of a kaleidoscope is going to be cut in half anyways. So I'm going to get this into, I don't know, kind of like a diamond shape, I think, if we can. we're going to cut this in half lengthwise. Okay. So, this is what scares me the most, is my cutting skills. So we're going to cut it right there. And we're just going to go straight down. And pray that we got it in the middle on this side. And we don't. So before we even take that apart, I'm going to come right there. Oh, and I'm going to attach it somewhere in the middle here. There. Yeah, I know that looks funky, but trust me, it'll work. Okay, and we have this one right here. So that's the one we're going to use. Okay, so that's the side we're going to use. Okay, so this is going to be our end piece right there. Because when we come back over it, we want the other side to fit to that. I know that might not make sense right now, but okay. Okay, so now we want to build around that. So that's going to be our left side of our cane right there. Okay, so now we just want to come off here and up to the side. Okay, let me go ahead and reduce these down, and then we will come back as we start to assemble it. Be right back. Okay, so we've cut all these down, and now it's basically assembling. So here we go. The worst part is not quite knowing how you're going to put it together. I don't know about this yellow, orange, and white. It just doesn't seem to really go with everything. The yellow does. I don't know about the orange so much. So I'm getting this to 4.5. That'll give me 3 pieces to work with. Then I still have the other half of it. Thinking the white with the red will help that black to stand out. And I've got an air bubble in here. Just noticed. Okay, we're gonna kind of stretch that out a little more. And this will change about 3 or 4 times as I'm doing it. I usually never stick to whatever I start with. I just kind of move things around. Okay, so what about this green and white? And just because I have this much cane doesn't mean I will use it all. I am going to take a knitting needle here. Okay. I'm going to make a huge indentation right in the middle here. See that? I might just stick with this. I may not even use that orange today. Okay, so with this, before I go any farther, I'm just going to wrap a piece of paper around the blade. I'm going to push some of that red in like that towards the center. Okay. Just to give it something in the middle so it's not so bare. Okay, we're going to put that right there. But I'm going to go a little deeper. And then pull up the sides. Still not going as high as I wanted it. So I'm just going to pull it a little more. So now, let's reduce this a little bit. I might go 4 on these. Or I might go 3. Should be 4.5. I don't want to make my pieces too small. This is kind of an experiment because I always make my pieces a lot smaller and it gets really busy. So let's see if we can avoid that today. Okay, so I'm gonna go. Okay, looks interesting. So, yeah, how am I going to do this? If I want this, it's kind of got a curve. That way, right? Let's make this nice and pointy, and then I'll go from there. So if I come up like this side right here, because this is where my bottom is going to be, just like that. Okay, it looks kind of weird. No, we're just going to leave that like that. Okay, that'll be weird, but let's go for it, right? Because that's what it's all about. So we have some... That's what we just did. I don't know if we're really going to use this part. Ugh, I don't know if I really like this orange. But I have an idea. Obviously, I don't want it up like that. I'm going to want it like this. So, actually, I may have squished it the wrong way. And this is a really big piece, so I don't want to use all of it. I don't even know if I'm going to use any of it. I'm not really sure about this color. And I don't think I have any other canes. Oh, you know what? I do. Before I get too invested in this piece, yeah, no, a little bright. But I had a couple canes here. They're old, which I'm trying to get rid of all my old, obviously. It just makes it seem like it's going to be really dark. I might be able to use that somehow. So cut it 1.5 here. I need a lighter color because I don't think this is going to look great on its own like that, but I don't know if I want to use any more of that red and yellow. So we're going to try this and hope that it works out. Something like that. Okay, let's get some black and put it in between what I just did. I also have some orange from the last cane that I did. So literally I could put those in there as well. I don't know. That doesn't look too bad. Now, do I want to put something in the middle of that? I don't know. But that does not look too bad. All right. Okay, something needs to go in the middle of that. I'm gonna hit pause until he stops barking. All right. My son has a tow truck coming to pick up his truck and drop it off at a repair place today. He's worked for ever since the car rolled down the street. He's been working on it to try and get it starting, and we think the computer's fried, so I think he finally gave up and decided to take it somewhere. Unfortunately, he has to be towed out of here, so I'm kind of waiting for them to show up. So every time Bandit barks, I'm thinking it's them. Okay, so yeah, I know, guys, this looks really weird. It really does. But it's okay, right? So I can end it right there if I wanted to. But I'm not. Of course, I never am. So I need to kind of make this squared off on the bottom. So if I stretch this guy right there, then that gives me my bottom. I don't want to put any more black and white on the edges. So where's that green that I had? This is like a brown. I think that would be way too dark. It's kind of cool. Oh, what the heck? I mean, seriously, at this point, what the heck, right? This is old, but amazingly soft. Oh, maybe not. I should have just left it alone and just used all of it. All the plastic gets so slimy. So I still don't have my canes online. Sorry about that. I didn't even know there was no mail today. So I'm kind of like excited because I didn't have to rush on my orders that came through this weekend. So I went, you know what? They can't go out today anyways. So take a couple hours and just go play. And that's what I'm doing. I got a new tool in for lamp working. There's a guy in England. His name's Ray Skeen, and he sells on Etsy. But his tools can be rather expensive, and then of course you've got the shipping from the UK. But honestly, it wasn't that bad in shipping. So I splurged, and I bought a couple tools. So one is just a brass tool with kind of like a fin on the end of a pair of tweezers. I mean, that's basically all they are. So I'm hoping it'll help with my... Oh, I kind of like that. I'm hoping it'll help with my my leaves and my fish beads. I don't think I've ever showed you guys my fish beads. So I will have to make that. I don't know, I'm thinking I like this thin. And then wrap it around that orange. Okay, like that. Okay. And I want to tuck that into the end like that. And then of course I've got this blue right here. I've already used the green blue. I have not used the latte. Didn't I want, I did. I'm going to take this off. I know. Didn't warn you there. I did want to coat this, not just orange. I want to put black in between here. And I ran out of black, which is why I quickly forgot about that. So let me grab some black and I'll be right back. Okay, so I put this through the pasta machine at a number 3. I'm looking around here, and I don't know if you remember the hair slides that I made for cutters. My grandkids were over this weekend and came over to use the pool. And what did they find? They found my hair slides. They fell in love with them. So I got rid of 3 of them to them. So now it looks like I'm going to have to make a whole lot more of them. I had one break, and that was one with the resin on it. So if you make those hair slides, I wouldn't use resin. Or somebody here in the comments asked how would soft work. I've never used soft resin, but if you've got it, I would try it. Because honestly, the hard, it looks good, but if they bend a little bit, the whole thing just cracked. And I'm not quite sure why that did that. Because they were bent to start with. But if you got to bend them a little bit more, then that's probably what's going to happen. So try the soft. Let me know how it works. But I am going to try today. I'm going to try that that bright stuff, which I'll show you as soon as before I reduce this. I'll just show it to you in a minute. Okay, so the only thing I'm going to do left now is literally just putting something here on this side, and I'm done. You know, I don't know how this is going to turn out in a way. I know that this turned that way. I probably should turn it so that it's facing, but I don't even want to take that apart right now. because I know that I'll destroy it. So all right, so this I want to make sure it's even. Okay. Set this right there. Okay, I think that's all the black I'm gonna need. Okay, so I don't know. I haven't used this one yet. Actually, I'm gonna wrap this in black as well. And I've got this thin. I've got this at a number 3. Oh, it's amazing how one project can leave you with such a huge mess. So for everybody's free cutters that went on the giveaway, they are packed. They are ready to go. I thought they would go in the mail today, but obviously there is no mail. So they will be shipped this afternoon, or this afternoon. They'll be out by tomorrow as soon as the mail starts again. So just let me know when you get them. So now I could take this big old piece right here and squish it and lay it right down, but I'm not. And I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this. I might just put 3 dots or 3 circles. Or I might make a funky design on these as well, if that can happen. So right now we're just going to roll it out and see what we come up with. And then the other part of me is wondering if I should cover this in black on the bottom. Probably will. Right, so I'm not going to go too small till I figure out what I'm going to do with it. So I'm going to do at least 3. And that would basically finish me off right there. I'm going to take one of these. I love this color combo. I really have to make a Makumi Gani using these colors. Actually using all 4 of these. Or, yeah, I don't know. I think these would be really pretty. I just love this brown. I think I'm going to keep this. And I'm going to make a leaf out of this one. Either this one or... yeah, I don't know. I just love this color. So let me see if I have some kind of a small cane. When I was working on that one yesterday, I had some blue and white. Is this all I have left? Or I have some orange, which actually does not look too bad either. Okay, so I've got the green with the blue. No, I like the blue. I don't know why. I like the blue. So again, we're going to thin this out. Make sure I don't have any other blue. Okay, we want this 1.5. So I cut right there. Cut right there. And we're just going to roll this guy like that. Okay, that might work. I'm going to stretch this. And we're going to cover, hopefully, that orange. All right, well. No, I don't want any more of that. Just that one highlight was good enough. Okay. There we go. Now, does it look like something needs to go right here? No, don't like that at all. All right, so that one that I didn't really care for, I'm going to stretch this one out. Put it right there and just come across the bottom like that. All right. So just lay that down like that. All right, guys, and that's it. That is a bunch of nothing that hopefully will turn into something. So my biggest issue now is wondering if I'm going to cut it in thirds or cut it into sixes. Because when I cut it in a third, like I told you, the reason I didn't put this one up was somehow they didn't line up. Or they got all squished. It still worked, but it didn't turn out as good as I wanted it to. So I kind of scrapped it. Oh, you know what? We're going to put a little bit of black on the bottom. That's the last thing I want to do. So let me grab some black. And then I'll begin to reduce it. And then I'll hit pause while I get it down. Okay, and for the bottom, I have it at a number 2. No particular reason, just decided to go a little thicker than the other piece. Okay. And we're just going to go up to that black piece, but not over it. because of the white right there. All right. So this is how I want it. And this is what I'm going to have to reduce it. So this is a big cane, and I don't make big canes, but I'm hoping. So I just got to remember that this is the top right here. Okay, so basically you're just going to come in here. Okay, and you're just going to get everything stretched, and then you're going to turn it. Yeah, you can tell that was really old clay. Hopefully it holds up. Okay, and you're just going to do that back and forth. And then when it gets a little wider and you get it a little bit more manageable, you can kind of twist it in your hands and pull it and stuff like that. But I think a 2-inch cane probably would have been easier. So it's going to take some time. I may end up having to put black over the top here. Like a really, really thin coat, because again, this is really old. So it's not going to kill anything else, considering everything is on the black. So, all right, and that's it. So I'm going to go reduce this, and I will come back when it gets closer to 9 inches. So we'll be right back. Alrighty, so here we are, guys, and if for most of you that have watched my videos before, you know that when I make a kaleidoscope cane or any kind of cane, I always go to 3 inches, cut it in half, and reduce it again. This time I didn't reduce it. I reduced it, but I did not cut into it more than that original cane that we made. So whether or not that's a mistake or not, I'm not sure. I just want to try it a little different this time. So I need to get to 9 inches, and obviously all that is just messed up. So we're going to go just a little longer. I'm going to try and cut, let's see. And then I've got a couple of these because of that cane being so old. But I'm going to try and get these to the same size. Okay. So there's 9 right there. So that's what our piece looks like so far. I really like that brown because it's got the pearl in it. Should have used more of it, huh? Alright, so we're going to cut this at 4.5. And if I don't like it, I will reduce it and cut it and reduce it again. And if I do like it, then I'll just leave it alone. Okay, so that is what we got right there. And it is what it is. I'm going to end up leaving it alone, because now there's really nothing else to do. So I think that was the toughest part, is to get those circles on the other side to stay like that. So I don't want to put this together too hard, because I may have to kind of manipulate it a little bit, because as you can see, these aren't lining up at all. Probably not the best pattern to use, but as you can see, I'm not quite there. So let me cut a little bit more off here. Okay, so this is at, so I'm going to kind of do the same. I don't know which is the center. I'm going to cut a little strip off of there too. So I could do it this way, and it'd be easier to line up if I did it that way. or just keep it the way I had it. But you see what I mean? That wasn't a really great design to put in the middle, because those circles have to line up. All right, so we're going to cut this. I'm not going to do it the way I did it before. I'm going to cut these in 3 pieces. So 1.5. So this was 9, so this should have been 4.5. So we need to take this out just a little bit more. Okay, it's pretty even. Okay, so there is... Oh, that might have been a little too big. Oh well, it is what it is. Just turn this over. Okay, that's not going to work, huh? Probably should have left it alone. So let's get this to 1, 2, 3, 4.5. It's probably because the piece that I need it to lay next to is in this half. Pretty sure of that, so. So I made that one a little bigger. Wow. So it's this side that I need. There we go. Okay, so I need to line that up. No, I don't know if I'm off camera as I did that. I'm sorry if I did go off camera. Okay, and that's just going to take a little bit of manipulation here. So it didn't work as planned because, again, it was not the smartest pattern to put in the middle. It'll still be a cool cane, but it just won't be perfect. Okay. Okay, that's smaller, so that's going to have to come across this side like that. Maybe. Okay, so that's that one. Yikes. Alright, and then this is this one, and this one's lining up really nice. Okay. And then we just gotta push these down and together. No, one's really big here. Well, guys, it is what it is. Can it still be used? Absolutely. I think I can stretch this. I can stretch that out. So the moral of the story is be careful what pattern you put in the middle. Because that's going to be the pattern, obviously, that not only is going to be cut in half, but it has to match the other side when you're all done with this. And mine's not quite matching. Okay, so you can see. So that's how Donna Kato would do it, is she has that focal piece. So you always have that in the center. And so that's what the main focus is on. It is kind of weird. I'll give it that. But yeah, whatever pattern I did didn't quite work. But it's still going to look nice. Because you know what? I'm the only one, well, all of you guys know that I screwed up. But when it gets into something, hopefully nobody's going to notice. Two, you know, it could be that I am still not cut perfectly on the ends. So the middle might actually look a little better. So I don't know. But anyways, it was a fun experiment. I kind of like the way she uses a focal point. So this is actually my first cane where I actually used a focal point. So now basically we're just going to get it all nice and rounded. Okay, so what does that mean? That means I got to reduce this all over again. If you want to see Donna Kato's, check out her YouTube channel. And you'll see some of her canes. So I don't subscribe to her. I've never ever seen her on YouTube, and it popped up on my feed last week. So I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I have all of her books. So do I use her techniques? No, I can't say that I do. Because I don't know if you know the story, but there was a girl that lived about two towns away from me. And when I first started clay, I was looking for a polymer clay guild or something that I could join, you know, just to connect with people that do this. And her number came up. She's about a half hour away. So I had called her on the phone, and unfortunately the guild was no longer around, and she was the head of it, but she quit, and the guild kind of dissipated. I guess nobody took it over or anything. And I told her I was sorry to hear that. You know, I was new, really wanted to connect and to learn techniques. And we hung up or whatever, and then she called me back a few days later and said that her husband had taken a job out of town, or out of the state actually, they were moving. And she had a bunch of polymer clay books. Would I like them? So I'm like, sure, I'll come over and take a look at them. So she wouldn't take any money from me. She just wanted to give me the books as a pay it forward. And I ended up getting 49 polymer clay books from her. 49. I still have probably read 2 or 3 of them at the most. I just don't seem to have time to read. And I know there's a couple Donna Kato books in there, so I was able to look through that, kind of look at the pictures. They're beautiful. Everything she does is beautiful. And I don't know what the other books were. I think one of her books was also autographed. Or I know she has one book that's autographed. But since I haven't read them all, and I don't see me having time to read them, I may end up having to do a couple giveaways. And again, pay it forward and get rid of some of those books. Because if I'm not going to use them, it's stupid to just have them. You know, when somebody else can benefit from them. So what I'm looking for are books on color recipes. And I know a lot of people on Etsy have color recipes, but I'm not looking for mixing colors. I can do that. I don't have a problem with doing that. Don't really like it. But it's more of like this. What color combos to use in a cane. Because I really struggle with that. So I'll let you know if I decide to give them up. Yeah, see, I'm already getting a lot of waste on this cane. And I don't want to reduce it too small because I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. But this would probably make a really nice focal. At the size it is right now. But it'd be so much easier to play with if I reduce it a little bit more. But boy, there's a lot of waste on this cane. So make sure when you do this, play with your old clay if that's what you're going to start with. Make sure it's really well conditioned, because as you saw, I had a lot of cracking going on in the middle because some of those canes were really old. So make sure you condition them really well. Alright, so just going to go a little longer, and then I'm just going to cut it right in half. And I'll save the ends because I don't want to lose any more. A lot of times you can squish your ends together like this because you already know your ends are wasted. If you connect all that together, like when you make Marini with glass, you have to make sure that when you grab that glass, you're grabbing every single piece of it. So if you can grab that center with the sides, then it won't sink in. And that really helps. Okay, so this is the size I'm going to leave it. And I'm just going to cut it in half. Okay. Oh, wow, guys. Oh my gosh, I really like this. Look at what we did. Oh, those turned out really awesome. So thank you, Donna Kato, for showing me how to use a centerpiece to focus on. Oh yeah, you can see where my lines didn't add up. But I'm okay with that. I've never done that before. I've always just thrown things together. I never had a centerpiece. So you know what would be really cool is the next one I make, I'm going to make this a leaf. Now that might be tough as well to line up in the end. But wow, I really, really like how that turned out. I hope you guys did too. Again, the technique with the center, using a focal point to look at on your Kaleidoscope cane was by Donna Kato. Everything else is pretty much me putting it together. And it doesn't matter what you put it together with, it always seems to turn out well. So I am really jazzed about these, so now I just got to make something with it. So we'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.